Hello, Internet Nation. Alex and Ashley here. My tummy feels weird and my throat kind of hurts, and I just feel out of it. And other stuff, I got this really weird taste in the mouth. I think it's from the medication I've been taking, or maybe it's from straight anxiety. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of, I don't know. So I figured now is the best time to talk about something I have wanted to talk about for a while now. And I didn't know when I should do this. And I didn't want to do it before I got my last videos up. Unbeknownst to me, one of them was already up. And yeah, and the other one's uploading now, but because I took my phone to my room and it's connected to the Wi-Fi, it's probably gonna take long, and since I'm recording this on my laptop, it's probably gonna upload before the other video. But whatever. I'm just happy that that stuff didn't get lost to the ether. So today, we're going to talk about a subject that's going to lead us into a bunch of other fun subjects. Or the other subjects are fun, this one not so much. But today, we're going to talk about shame. And yeah. So shame is something I know very well. And I feel a great deal of shame on a daily basis. Because, like, you know, I come from a conservative, abusive family where, like, I got yelled at a lot as a kid for little to no reason, and basically for everything. So the way I dressed, so for like doing stuff, like, you know, I can't go outside, but I can't play ball inside, and nobody's gonna teach me anything or tell me anything or spend any time with me or do anything with me. But I'm just supposed to know that if you put your Legos on the light, they're gonna burn, and that's gonna start a fire, because I'm just supposed to know how physics works as a child. So I got yelled at a lot. I got yelled at for doing stuff, dressing how I did, for being myself, for being into anime, and I don't know, basically just who I was as a person was not encouraged. And it got even worse in high school, because high school was the first time I could have an identity, you know, the first time I got to like dress myself, and the first time I got to like join after school activities and all that stuff. And I remember my mom would tell me constantly that people are going to make fun of me when, you know, the only people that make fun of you are the people who hate themselves, you know? Because in the entirety of my high school, and mind you, I dressed pretty, and I don't even want to say absurdly. It was like for the time, but very out there differently than everybody else. I used to wear like tank tops over shirts, and I would wear petticoats as like a skirt. I mean, like, you know, with like shorts under it. I love me some shorts, but I'm always in shorts for one. And like, it's not a problem when you're younger, but then when you get older and curvier and your weight fluctuates, but you can't like keep up with your need for pants, I guess, or your need for shorts that don't squeeze your bottom because you got a bottom, you know, just some weird shit. But like, people would tell me that they like the way I dress, they like my style, all this stuff. They thought that I was different and cool and whatnot. And my mom would tell me that people are making fun of me, but like, people who told me they liked how I dressed, they would come up to my face and they would tell me, people who didn't like how I dressed would, I would hear them snickering from afar. They would never say it to my face because they bitches. Just so you know, if you're the type of person that talks about somebody behind their back, if you're making fun of somebody and you can't say it to their face, use a little bitch, and you should really work on that. But yeah, she would always tell me that. She would be the one making fun of me, questioning why I don't want to dress or look or act like everybody else, or why I didn't want to be more like her, or why I didn't want to wear skirts, or why I wanted to get piercings and tattoos, which I always found kind of funny because she'd always like bring up this one tattoo that she wanted to get that she's really thankful that she didn't get. But it's like my tattoos are very significant to me. They're very meaningful to me. They mean a lot. You can like look at me and kind of tell what some of my biggest interests are, as well as like the subcategories of that. Like you see my Lord Conti tattoo. For one, if you know that that's Lord Conti's head, then you can tell that I'm into anime. Pinpoint that I like Fooly Cooly. You see my fucking Bioshock Big Sister. You can tell that one, I like art, if not graffiti. Two, I like Bioshock. Three, maybe I'm into like industrial shit, you know? And she was like, oh, I wanted to get a dragon across my ass. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm like, well, I don't know if I would ever get anything tattooed across my ass. Like, I'm so meticulous with it to the point where I'm not gonna get, like, I want to get my stomach tattooed in the general region of my stomach. I have one tattoo, maybe two tattoos that are at risk of getting damaged. And I specifically am refraining from getting anything that's gonna get damaged before I have children. You know, that's how methodical I am with this shit. I plan on having children, and I'm definitely gonna do that. So I'm not getting tattoos in those areas until until I'm done having children, so that the tattoos don't get fucked up. So like clearly, I can think things through and I can wait. And every tattoo I have is significant. But anyway, I never really got the ability to like be myself or talk to anybody, which is why I'm so fucked up now. It's like now I try, and as I like came to the realization today because I was talking to somebody, because you know they made the mistake of asking me how I'm doing, and if you make the mistake of asking me how I'm doing, oh boy, am I gonna tell you, which is hilarious because people are always like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And then some on the rare occasion I'm just here like, "Yeah, well, I'm struggling really bad and kind of want to kill myself, and I feel like my purpose in life is to kill myself, but I don't really know. I'm kind of trying not to kill myself, but at the same time, like the universe just keeps trying to tell me that I should really commit to killing myself, and then everyone else is just kind of like ignores that part. So you know, I don't know. I'm trying. Whether or not anybody registers it, I don't know. It's on them, I guess. As I said, I don't really feel like I matter to anyone, and it's one thing to throw money at me. It's another for me to have to like ask you for help, and then even then, the only thing people are really good at is throwing money at you because they don't really listen to what you're saying to like talk you down. Because I'm all like, yeah, no, this keeps happening to me, and my life is fucked up. And every time I try to do something, the universe goes, and it makes me feel really bad. It makes me feel like I'm being punished for doing the things that make me really happy. And it's like the more I try to make myself happy, the more I get decked. And then they're like, you know, it's just this one time. It's gonna be okay. And I'm like, no. Saying it's just this one time ignores the fact that this is the third, if not fourth consecutive year that this shit has happened to me. So it's not just this one time. You're ignoring the fact that I don't feel safe. You're ignoring the fact that I feel like I can't trust myself. You're ignoring the fact that I have to acknowledge that I don't listen to myself. You're ignoring all of that, and you're doing a sucky job at talking me down off this ledge. Maybe that's what I want to talk about. I keep going back to that. I mean, I never even finished my points from that video, from what I learned, but then even then it was going to end with a semi-sarcastic or passive-aggressive. I don't really, both words sound bad, but I guess it's not the best, because I'm sure people are going to say I'm underappreciative But you know, a high, you can't just keep throwing money at me and thinking that's gonna make me happy. You know, like if I'm sitting here cutting myself so I don't feel the need to reach out to people because I need to be held so bad, you can't be like, yeah, no, they're good, they're good. Sure they're cutting themselves because they need somebody around them so bad, but also I helped them pay for that thing, so I'm a good friend. But I digress. This is about shame. So I carry a lot of shame because this is the first time I'm ever gonna say it on YouTube, I guess. But I do porn. Yeah, I do sex work and I do porn. I'm not like sleeping with people, and I don't make enough videos for it to count because people only want to see me stick things in my ass, and I personally don't want to do it as much as people want me to. So that's kind of a bummer. But at the end of the day, and I mean my OnlyFans is significantly a lot of me doing weird shit, like eating popsicles in a sexual manner. But you know, I want to do weird shit. I'm into weird sexual shit and not shit. And I feel a lot of shame over the fact that I do porn because I know it would be like throwing a brick house through my parents' reality. I don't think they would understand. And I try to remind myself that doing it once is bad enough. I mean, continuing, probably pretty bad, but doing it once is enough for that reality check to be the size of a brick house for them. And I'm very afraid of them finding out because I am full of shame. I'm not ashamed of being a porn star. I'm just ashamed when it comes to sex. I've always had a shame when it came to sex. That's just how it's been. I remember it took me a long time to not like worry that my mom was gonna burst in the room. Because, like, I'm sure it could have gone different if I had grown up having conversations about sex and had the ability to talk to somebody about the fact that I was being molested so that maybe I didn't develop a sex addiction at a young age. So I also spent, like, I don't know, I can't tell you when I started getting molested. I know that I was very young, at least like 5 or something, at least 5. I don't know. I hope not earlier than that, but at least 5. And I developed a sex addiction, so I would masturbate like every day with anything. A lot of the time it was like glass bottles, markers. I had these like color pencils that you would like twist and they would come out of this tube. Sharpies, markers. One time I used the the word for this. That brush you clean the toilet with. And I like put condoms on everything. One time I used a banana that I put in the freezer. Sometimes I would stick candy in myself. I used a lot of things. A wide variation of things in all of my holes. Well, not all of my holes, because nothing ever went in my mouth. That came when I was older. Old enough to put things in my mouth. I mean, granted, kids aren't old enough to be putting things in their other holes. That's another story. So I would do that like every day, every single day, every night. And yeah, I got in trouble with my mom a lot because she would not catch me watching porn, but find out that I was watching porn. Like, I feel like some days she would just go on the computer and look for something. Because I remember I had like raunchy pictures of myself that a boyfriend at the time had taken, hidden in a folder, in a folder, in a folder, and she found him. So I'm like, damn, you went looking for those. You went looking for those. You were checking the history. You wanted a reason to bust me. and like maybe we can deal with my sex addiction and instead of my porn addiction because I am still your child and you're still failing me by just like arguing with me because I'm watching porn. Because watching porn or not isn't really gonna stop me from sticking everything inside of myself. So as I would do that, I would like think about everybody in my life because I was constantly like we had a very unsex positive view in my house. One of those you kiss you get pregnant type of ordeals. So didn't have a healthy space to talk about sex or even let my mom know that I was engaging in anything sexual at all. Couldn't talk about that. So I just hid it and worried about her all the time. Worried about her bursting into my room because Lord did she love doing that. And just yeah. So I would think about my teachers and my friends and how if they knew what I was doing, they would be very ashamed of me. And yeah, that kind of fucks you up when you do that every night, and every time you touch yourself is associated with a great deal of shame. So I've carried a lot of shame when it comes to a lot of things. My identity, that's a whole other ball game there, because I've more or less always been the same person, always had the same views, might have been more or less mature, but personality wise, I'm the same views. When I was a kid, I would always used to like believe that things would be possible, like instant transmutation was just a thought away. Like you could teleport using your mind and make things manifest just by thinking them into existence. I didn't share that with people as a kid though, or maybe I did. I don't remember. I remember believing it strongly to the point where now I'm just like, just don't let go of that. Like it's all a mindset. I'm not strong enough, I guess, to feel like I can do anything instantaneously. But I don't want to let go of the idea of the possibility. No, because if anything isn't possible, then what hope is there that this life is going to get better? So I'm pretty used to being ignored, but I'm also pretty used to being told that I'm wrong. Just any and everything. People used to tell me, like, I used to believe that love was the answer and it could fix anything, and everybody would tell me that love isn't the answer. It's not real. You can't do anything with love. It's like, maybe if we weren't such assholes, there wouldn't have to be starving people in Africa. Like, maybe we don't need food stores, like fast food places on every corner. Especially if a lot of those places are gonna throw their food away at night. Like maybe if the rich can have too much, then they can give to people who don't have anything. Maybe if people just maybe if it wasn't a norm to be a monster, it could be better, you know? But no, everybody could constantly tell me I'm wrong because being a monster is a norm, and that's why we have to continue to do that. Because fuck thinking for yourself and fuck being the change that you want to see, I guess. So anytime I would open my mouth, people would tell me that I was wrong. They would like beat me down. Even now, people like telling me that I'm wrong. Even my therapist likes to fight with me about shit. And she's like, yeah, no, 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 I understand what you're saying. And then she'll like describe the situation, but it's not right. And she's just like, yeah, like I'm tired of being told I have to accept the fact that people are monsters when the problem is not that people are monsters. The problem is I feel absolutely helpless, like I have nowhere to run. And it kind of triggers me because that's my norm, and I'm afraid I'm gonna die alone. And even if I do, no one's gonna care that I'm not here anymore. I mean, that has nothing to do with the people at USPS being bad at their jobs, you know? Like USPS being bad at their jobs. Either way, if I had somebody to console me after USPS decides they want to be terrible at their jobs, then I wouldn't want to kill myself. But I, a student, shouldn't have to explain that to you, a professional. I shouldn't have to tell you my problems, lay them out at your feet, just for you to be like, no, 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 that's not it. I could understand if it wasn't it, if I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, but I spent years thinking about this. I spent years pinpointing the problems and what happens when I get upset. So I also carry a lot of shame when it comes to reaching out because I don't want to be a burden for anyone. I know I can be a lot, especially because nobody likes to listen to me until the moment where the switch goes off in my head and I accept the fact that you don't give a shit about me and you're not gonna do what I need you to do. So I'm just gonna go numb, you know? And once I go numb, it's too late to try and convince me that you cared. But I carry a lot of shame. And I don't know why. I mean, I know why. I live a dualistic reality where I'm so detached, but my desire to not be detached from everything makes it hard to be detached from everything. Like, I don't feel like part of my family, but I don't want to, like, I feel like it's gonna suck if they turn their back on me. So I don't know, can't imagine either of my parents continuing to talk to me after they find out my deep dark secret. It shouldn't really matter. Like, as I'm always saying, you could have kept that same energy for the people that hurt me. Not like get mad at me because I decided that that was what I needed to do to get over a history of sexual abuse and harassment. Like, you didn't teach me how to be strong. You didn't teach me how to defend myself. So I put myself in a position where sexually I would have to stand up for myself or allow myself to be used. And it's one thing to be used. It's another to put your foot down. I feel like I was gonna say something else, but then my mind is just everywhere. But like I learned a lot from doing porn. It actually helped with my addiction. It helps with my self-esteem. It helped with definitely always helps with the bills. And what nobody seems to want to accept is that I need a pillow. What nobody seems to want to accept is that it's like it's something I have a lot of power with. And it does a lot of good. And everyone's always asking me, like, oh, if you have such a bad history with sex, then why do you do porn? But it's like, I got what I wanted from porn. But, I also still have needs. Well, I wouldn't call sexual desires needs, because you'd have to be pretty out of balance to think sex is a need. But I still have sexual desires. And if I can, like, go and have sex with somebody who's going to appreciate me and have actual conversations with me and, like, talk to me about stuff, then why would I not do that and then get paid for it over the usual, like, building a relationship with somebody and getting to know them and letting my guard down with them just to have sex with them and then they change on me. Like, ah. So 50% of the population, which ironically the female percentage of people I talk to about this don't seem to understand why I do continue to do it, or they always tend to have like misconceptions. And then the male populace is just like, well, if you do it with this guy, how come you can't do it with me? And I'm just like, okay, so here's the situation, right? So I'm supposed to shoot with Mike, or I was gonna shoot with Mike last Friday, and there was this doll I really wanted to buy, and I wanted to buy ASAP because it's not being sold by the original seller anymore, and somebody has them in stock, and I don't know how many they have in stock, but if they sell out, then I'm kind of gonna be screwed. So I wanted to get it right then and there. So I messaged him on Friday, and I was really annoying with it. Sometimes I'm really annoying with it, but like at one point he was my sugar daddy. I don't really know if he still is my sugar daddy. I don't ask for stuff the way I used to, but I feel like if I did, I might get a good chance at it. But, he was like, oh no, I'm busy. I'm busy. I could probably do it Thursday. And I'm like, yeah, cool, cool. Well, can you pay me 300 in advance so I can get this doll that I really want? And he was like, yeah, sure. For one, most people aren't going to do that. They're not going to pay you advance. Like, for one, he knows I'm going to show up. Like, it's to the point where I don't have to, like, I know it's not mandatory for me to count my money when he gives it to me anymore because it always is. And if it's not like a straight thousand when he hands it to me, he's like, this is X amount of dollars. I'm going to send you the rest on Cash App, or I ain't got it right now. I mean, if he didn't have it, he wouldn't tell me as he was paying me. He would tell me beforehand. He'd be like, I don't have it. I'm going to send this to you in X amount of days. And then he sends it to me in X amount of days. That's just how it is. So I'm like, I find it annoying when people want to get mad at me when I'm like, no, I only work with Mike. After he raised what he paid me because I quit porn, I was like, hey, so I got everything that I wanted to out of this experience. I feel like I've grown significantly, and I feel like I closed the book on my history of sexual harassment, so I'm gonna yeet myself out of the porn industry. And he was like, so how about I give you a pay raise? And I'm like, so you want to give me a pay raise? On top of paying for my cab to and fro, on top of like giving me bud, usually around like an eighth every time we shoot, and treating me like a person, on top of giving me some good dick and some good head. Okay, cool, because I'd rather have sex with him, get paid for it, up my following, I guess, because it's like every time a new video comes out, I get more subscriptions on OnlyFans. But then, like, do that every time I have sex. Or get to know someone. And I like being safe in the comfort of the knowledge that Mike has a big dick. Because I hate messing with dudes and they got little dicks. It's always a little dick. Why you dudes ain't got big dicks? Like, I'm trying to get fucking wrecked. And ain't nobody like, it's offensive. It's seriously offensive. But anyway, I keep saying I don't like myself in my head. But that's like one of my biggest qualms. Because I do like myself. I just don't like my fear, the anxiety, the fact that I'm always riddled with anxiety. I'm always anxious. The past few days have been the worst. I remember I was skating to the store today and my heart was just pounding. Like, it was legit going crazy. And I don't know if that was just because, like, I've been an anxious mess all day. But I also texted Leon because I wanted to talk to him about something he said that's been bothering me. But he didn't remember why he said it. I feel like he doesn't remember half of the things he says. He just be exposing himself, and then later on he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Maybe he's more stuck in his dualities than I am. I don't know. But I was talking to him, and I always get really anxious because he like misinterprets the things I say. Which I've even said, I probably should have said something about it, but he was like, accused me of being a bad friend because I let him know that I was still a fucking sucker for him. And he thought that was like being a bad friend. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Is it bad of me to not tell you to stop touching me because I am physically incapable of making myself tell you to stop? I don't know. But my heart was pounding when we were talking because it's like I don't like confronting people. Because a lot of times they don't really care about what I have to say. And shame is something I kind of struggle with because I don't really know how to let it go. And my therapist is really ass at her job, so I don't think she knows how to let it go either. She keeps like trying to get me to listen to seminars, and I'm just like, okay, but if this seminar exists and I'm listening to it, why are you being paid? You know? And she never called me back on Friday because human error, which is the stupidest excuse for businesses not being on top of their game. Human error shouldn't be a thing. Like, if I said, my therapist called me early, can you have her call me back? Why are you hearing, is my therapist going to call me? That's too big a margin of error, you know? But also at the same time, it's incredibly stupid for me to be having to call an office for them to email a person to call me back. Especially if this person is going to call me early. Like, if you're going to call somebody early and you don't get them, call them back at the right time. Don't don't skimp out on your job. Don't get eager and be like, oh, I have extra time, so let me call you early. Oh, you didn't answer, so let me just not call you back at the right time. The fuck? Like, what if I was at work? What if I was at a doctor's appointment? What if I was doing something and I'm like, let me set my alarm for 3:25 so I don't miss my therapist when they call me. But I missed it anyway because you decided to call me early. I hate the fact that people always want to tell me I'm wrong, but then never listen to anything I say. I can't tell you how many times I've been told that I was right just for that person to proceed to not listen to me the next time. I feel so many emotions running through me right now, a lot of which are scared and anxious because I don't have blood left. And I realized that I could have gone to somebody to get blood instead of sending that money to Tati because if I was going to get money tomorrow, I could have sent her that money. Which I'm sad because unemployment keeps fucking me over. Like, I keep claiming more than 1 day, and then it's either like, no, no unemployment for you because, yeah, you just wanna, just a little bit, yeah, yeah, you like that Big Daddy government dick? You like getting fucked without your consent? Do you like sitting and spinning? I hope you do. So I definitely claimed more than 1 day this week, and it was like, yeah, no, no, you definitely said 1 day, bro. No, you're not gonna win in this situation. We are not giving you that 300. We're gonna do everything in our power to make sure it looks like we're giving you less than $100. So we can't give you that 300. Whatever it takes. Fuck your bills. fuck you need for shit. Fuck, fuck, no, 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 no. Fuck you eating. Sit and spin. Kill yourself, bitch. Why have you still not killed yourself? The fuck? So the government's trying to like pass my debts onto other people because it knows I ain't paying shit. Especially considering the fact that my insurance pays for everything, and yet for some reason every time I go back to City MD, the bill is more expensive. Like, where did that $300 even come from, good sir? Where? Where? Because it used to be 15. So, and nobody's even telling me anything about the shit. It's just like, oh, you have $300 on your account. Would you like to pay that? And I'm just like, where did this even come from? But anyway, this is why we don't use Cash App, and this is why you don't go to City MD. But I guess you don't have any choice because we're in the middle of a pandemic, and they're the only doctors that you can just walk into in the general vicinity, even though I had to ride my bike over there. So those are the big three things that I carry shame with, I guess. A lot of shame when it comes to sex. I don't know how to work on that, I guess. I'm just gonna keep masturbating on camera. I'm just gonna keep doing sexual things on camera, and then outside sources are just gonna keep validating me for it until one day I'm not shameful for it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe my parents will die, and then I won't have to worry about that. God forbid. Carry a lot of shame for the way I dress. I like it, but like we live in this weird society where it's okay to sexualize adults. It's like, yeah, no. You can't have, if you even think about having sex with children, you're a monster because children cannot consent. But it's perfectly okay to think about having sex with people who don't want to have sex with you. And telling them that you want to have sex with them and showing them your penis and describing how you want to have sex with them and verbally violating them, yeah, no, that's perfectly fine and legal. Just make sure that this person that you're doing it to is considered by the government old enough to make their own choices, but only when we say so. It's like that whole fun situation with James Charles. Oh, these adults are picking on James Charles. They're picking on this 19-year-old boy. This poor 19-year-old boy. They're picking on him and they're making everyone tell him to kill themselves because he's a predator and he is forcing straight boys to have sex with him even though he's a virgin. This 19-year-old boy. We shouldn't attack him like that. But then on the flip side, you have, oh, James Charles is forcing straight boys to have sex with him. This 19-year-old man, he should know better. And I'm just sitting here like, there are people who are like 42 and are not mentally capable of consenting? Yeah. Yeah, there are people who are in their late 20s and lived a sheltered life and don't realize sex should mean something. There are people who got molested as a kid who are trying to put boundaries on their sex life and probably shouldn't be having sex with people before they figure out their shit, you know? They shouldn't be having sex. They shouldn't be opening their legs or pulling their pants off because they grew up thinking that it's okay to let somebody have their way with you because technically they don't know that they have a choice in the matter. So because they don't know that they cannot consent, they don't, which is another form of non-consenting. So maybe they shouldn't legally be allowed to consent until they get a grasp on what they're even comfortable with. Just a thought. Just a thought. You know? Like the problem here, and I said it. It's similar to the whole cancel culture thing, how it backlashed, and now Jenna Marbles is not on the internet anymore. because cancel culture is a toxic thing that makes people do stupid shit. Stupid shit. Like, I'm pretty sure didn't even bother because the fact that somebody held my profile picture against me on Twitter, like, it used to be a picture of myself, and I personally don't think it matters what your profile picture is. Like, I'm not an anonymous person. My name on Twitter is literally Alex Shin Ashley, you know? So you can find my face. I just thought the fucking avatar I made from cute Pix Crew is cute, and it was one of the only pictures that was available for me because I had to keep deleting my profile pictures so I can have room. I have to keep deleting my pictures so I can have room. So since it was one of the only pictures that I liked on my phone, when it was time for me to change my picture, that's what it became. But the fact that literally somebody was like, I'm not even going to validate your argument with a response because your profile picture. But what my argument was, it's fucked up how people can hold Jeffree Star's past against him while, like, literally the situation was some beauty guru felt the need to leave the internet because she was defending Jeffree Star because he was nice to her. Some beauty guru of color had to leave the internet because she was defending Jeffree Star because he was always nice to her. And because of this, people on the internet gave her death threats, so said mean things to her, all the shit to the point where she left the internet and she is no longer a makeup guru. And I said it's fucked up how people can, like, not allow Jeffree to grow out of his past or forgive him or forget his past or just, not be fucking trash and throw his past at him constantly, like a person's past is the same as their future or their present. But they think it's okay to tell this girl to kill herself and bully her off the internet. Whether or not Jeffree Star is a racist, and we can't tell because people in the spotlight sometimes do fucked up shit to get in the spotlight because that's what y'all want to see. Y'all same stupid motherfuckers watching videos of people being beaten and killed and scalped on the internet have a problem with him calling somebody a nigger while you out here being fucking niggers. I'm not defending his actions. I'm just saying you can't be mad at him for saying raunchy ass fucking shit 10 years ago when today you are telling some girl who is not a questionable racist to kill herself for standing up to somebody who had her back. You see how stupid that sounds? So we can't confirm this person has racist beliefs. We can't confirm that they have racist feelings. Okay? Like, I'll give you this. It's harder to argue that for Shane Dawson. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You can't argue that because of shit he put on the internet. For one, I mean, as from a psychological point of view, you can argue that because it all comes down to nature versus nurture, and the fact that his mom was there on his side, along with him in videos, encouraging his behavior, says a lot. I've literally seen people say that he corrupted his mom. Son, you can buy me a house, you can make me notoriously rich, famous, whatever, put me in a better place in life. But that don't mean I'ma dress up in blackface and say the N-word on the internet. The fuck? The fuck? The fact that he called his aunt apologizing for his behavior with his niece and she said that's okay, that's just family shit. That's systematic. Okay? That's in the bloodline. That is shit that they continue, and it's not just the family, it's the location that he grows up in. So there is a bigger problem there. There's a bigger problem there. But the fact that people think it's okay to bully other people and not take responsibility for that, is fucked up. So at this point, you're worse than Jeffrey. End of story. Y'all are worse than these people that you were mad at for doing this shit in the past because they're not doing this shit anymore. But you are. You are. And technically that makes them better than you because they used to do it. You're doing it now. You're doing it now. You could choose not to do it. You could choose not to give this person attention. But this has nothing to do with it. Actually, it kind of does because I often feel a great deal of shame from speaking how I feel because I'm just so used to being told that I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong here. I'm not. I'm not taking a stance on if or if not Jeffree Star is a racist. I personally feel like he said some fucked up shit. Like, come at me. Tell me that I am a racist because I sometimes use the hard ER. Go ahead. Tell me I'm a racist. I might have a great disdain for white people and the ways that they have ruined the world, but you cannot deny that at the end of the day, all these plantation owners, all these factory owners, all these people doing all this crazy shit, all these people you see in these documentaries doing fucked up shit, fucking up animals, fucking up people, always fucking white, always fucking white. So how you gonna hold it against me for being prejudiced? Because white people be doing some crazy, fucked up shit sometimes. But does that make me a racist because I use a hard ER? No, because apparently I can. Because I'm this color. Until some dark motherfucker comes along and tells me that I'm not black enough because my mom is that color. But if that doesn't seem racist to you, maybe you should relearn what racism is and stop going along with the new definitions everybody seems to make. Because according to society, sometimes the only racism that matters is systematic racism. Sometimes the only thing that seems to matter is non-systematic racism. Sometimes the only thing that seems to matter is something that seems racist. And I promise you they're not paying attention to things that don't seem racist but are. You know? Everybody wants to get mad over the obvious shit like the blackface sweater or the best monkey in the jungle sweater. Shit like that. But not the fact that like the black identity is manufactured in America. For one, we have the possibility to be anything we want to be, and yet y'all decide that what you want to be is some ghetto motherfucker. The ghettos don't have to be ghetto. Like, we don't gotta piss in the elevators, you know? No, no, I'm fucked up for pointing this shit out, right? Because y'all choose to be this way. Y'all can just stop, you know? Black people can totally be racist. You can definitely think that you're better than somebody else. But let me stop, because the last thing I need to do is get into my views on the state of the world and have everybody cancel me because I think that black people aren't equal or some stupid bullshit. Well, people don't even watch these anyway. But I said my piece, and I'm gonna try not to feel guilty about it. I don't know what happened or when it happened, but my past few videos have been getting views for some reason. For some reason, like consistently, at least 10 views, and I don't know what that's about because it usually was like 3. I don't know if the retention is even up there anyway. I feel a little bit better. I think I just don't want to stop talking because then if I stop venting, I'm gonna not be having serotonin hits and then just be thinking about how I don't have any more bud to smoke. Not until the morning. But I also don't get tired at night, so I don't know. I'm still trying to work on my blood intake, but I think I've decided I'm gonna cut human interaction out completely and just get high. Because it's one thing to be like, I need to talk to somebody right now, and then try to talk to somebody and then they suck or they don't like focus on what you're saying. Like it's kind of funny to me to like literally tell somebody, so I think I'm gonna kill myself soon. I'm still debating, but I feel like it's my purpose in life to do it. And they're just like, tell me more about that other thing you said. And I'm just like, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what scares me. Because it's like no matter how hard I try, the universe always tries harder. Just like push me down. So I'm scared that I'm gonna try. I've really been putting in effort. Like when I got robbed, I was really upset. I got really suicidal. And I texted people. I tried to like talk about it. Tried calling for help. I tried doing everything, but at the end of the day I was still sitting there in the fetal position on the floor contemplating suicide until I went to the police and then I just decided to smoke. So it's like, yeah, there was somebody there to help me recover the finances for the time being so I can pay rent on time and get the doll. That was all that really matters because I was like, I'm sad. Because if I could just get this doll, just achieve that dream, it'll be okay. Forget the money. So I went from, let me stop talking to people because they're not offering to help. They're not offering to come over and console me. They're not offering to like, they're not even really listening to the problems that I'm stating. Let me just talk to somebody else and just see if I can get the money back. Then I'll feel fine. And that's what I did. And then after they were like, yeah, I'll give you the money. I felt better because I'm like, okay, the situation is solved now for the time being. Uh, uh, Cash App definitely isn't going to help me get that money back because Cash App sucks major donkey ass. Please do not come to drink this goddamn paint water. So, yeah, I'll just sort it out and then what I learned. And I think I'm going to make another video where I talk about what I learned from that experience because I didn't say all my feelings. So that's the video on shame. We got into the topic, and now we get to expand on it, I guess. Or do things that would. Nigga! Yes! When you tip shit over, you get fucking wet! Why are you like this? Can't you just drink the fucking water that doesn't have paint in it? Swear to fucking God, she has her own water, doesn't want to drink it. I even went to the kitchen to get myself a nice fresh glass of water, doesn't want to drink it, but the fucking paint water that has top coat, glossy top coat in it, thick as shit. Sure, she'll drink that. Look at this motherfucker. You gonna drink it now? Now that you're on camera trying to prove me wrong? I fucking bet you are, you goddamn asshole. Anyway, you guys. That's the video. I'm gonna probably go make another one about something else right after. Until next time, know that you are loved by this guy and maybe this asshole. I don't fucking know who she likes aside from people we don't talk to anymore. And if no one else is loving you unconditionally, I am. See you guys.